Your YouTube views may increase this week, but that does not necessarily mean more people are paying attention, trusting your expertise, or becoming potential clients. YouTube is changing how it publicly counts video views. So today, I'll explain what has changed, what did not change, and which numbers creators and experts should actually watch. My recommendation: do not measure success with one number. Measure whether your video created exposure, attention, trust, or action. I'll also break down angles on how you can use this news headline to build authority online. This is Think Like a Producer, where we break down a news headline and help you find the angle that you can really own to attract clients and potentially the press on your journey from unknown to known. If you're liking this on your podcast platform of choice, be sure to follow us. And if you're watching on YouTube, I hope you'll subscribe and ring that bell so you know when the next episode drops. On these episodes, I do share about my sources. You should always be leaning into reliable, dependable, legitimate sources for your facts. Now, it can be hard when there's paywalls. So I am pulling content together without the paywall so that you can see other sources that could be useful to you. The Verge is one that you can lean in on. You do always want to check sources, but for right now, we're going to use The Verge, and YouTube is changing how it counts views to give the numbers a boost. Beginning August 24th, YouTube is going to count the public view when a video begins playing, including the first frame. That means creators could see their public view totals rise more quickly, but that does not mean YouTube is changing every measurement. Now, if you noticed from my previous video on YouTube monetization, views are essential. The platform will continue using its more qualified or engaging measurements for monetization and YouTube partner program eligibility. So it's not going to help you move the needle any closer to monetization, but your view counts will go up. I recently produced an entire episode about YouTube's monetization changes and what creators need to qualify for the YouTube Partner Program. Watch this episode next if earning through YouTube itself is part of your strategy. I'll also make sure to link it below. This change raises a different question. If your public number increases, did your content become more successful, or did the definition of a view become easier to satisfy? Here are 3 ways to think about this story. This is the most important lesson for creators. A video starting means you received exposure. It does not tell you whether someone stayed. Inside YouTube Studio, you're going to want to look beyond public views at the average view duration, audience retention, and returning viewers. Where do people leave? Did the opening deliver what the title promised? Did viewers continue into another video? Your hook, if you want to share your intel on this, could be your views went up, but did your audience? That's a great way to lure people in to talk about this news story. Now I'm going to show you a few examples. In a LinkedIn post, marketing strategist Dev shared that his team generated more than 100,000 organic YouTube views. But he did not stop with the largest number. He also discussed subscriber growth, stable watch time, consistency, and building trust over time. That gives the number useful context. That is a way to lean in. You want to define the metric before comparing it. If you're a marketing strategist or communications professional, your hook could be a number without a definition is not a reliable comparison. YouTube, TikTok, Instagram, and LinkedIn do not necessarily define a video view in the same way. That's also a point you could be making on LinkedIn, guys. When you see a YouTube headline about view counts, you can then say, well, is this any different on LinkedIn or Instagram? Make it into more than the headline. Help people wrap their head around something. All right, so here's a look at LinkedIn's Help Center. It says native video views is counted after more than 2 seconds. So if a client shows you several platform screenshots and asks which video performed best, you cannot simply suggest the largest number. I need you to ask, what counted as a view? How long did people watch? How many were unique viewers? Did they engage? And what happened next? See, the trade-off is that public views are simple and impressive. Deeper metrics require explanation, but they produce better business decisions. That is going to help you on the business side, but it could also help you generate content ideas for your own platform. What counted as a view? You could say, this news headline is out on how YouTube is changing its way it's counting views, but what counts as a view? You could say, oh, this new story out on YouTube counts, but we're going to see more views increase, but how long do people watch? You want to make sure that you're leaning into the news story, but then making it specific to your niche and how you can add value to your audience. Connecting with your audience is essential. Pick up. As part of my known framework, I say you need to know your audience and nurture your presence online. So connecting with your audience is going to be key. It's especially important for lawyers, doctors, consultants, authors, coaches, and all types of experts. You can use this story even though it's not your beat. Entrepreneur Brandon Kim shared one YouTube post had received 138 million views, generated substantial revenue, and still made the business more difficult to interpret. That is a valuable thought leadership example because reach and business clarity are not the same result. If your goal is visibility for your enterprise track, if your goal is visibility for your business, your enterprise, you want to track qualified inquiries, newsletter subscriptions, media requests, speaking invitations, visits to your service page, and returning viewers. And the question people begin asking you after they've seen your content. One producer, journalist, or ideal client watching your video may matter more than thousands of people scrolling past it. Here's the producer test to use after every upload. Did the video earn exposure? Did it hold attention? Did I build trust with that video? And did it create an action that supports my goal? If you cannot identify the action you want, you are measuring content without defining success. Public views still matter. They can demonstrate reach and help people discover you. But a larger number does not automatically represent greater influence. Platforms define visibility, but you must define its value. I know I didn't go into many examples on how you can use this news story, but I hope that the information I provided is helping you on your journey from unknown to known. Think Like a Producer is produced by On Cam Ready Media. We help experts develop stronger thought leadership, become more confident on camera, and build a visibility strategy designed to attract clients and the press. Visit us at oncamready.com. I'm Jamie Maglietta. Remember to think like a producer, use the news, find your angle, and produce your authority. And be sure to watch us every Monday through Thursday as we break down the news headline and help you find ways to apply it to your business or to your social media content. I'm also here on Fridays where on YouTube, we're having a fun Friday where it's either an interview segment, a tutorial, or some behind the scenes content. On the RSS feed, every other month, you will get an interview with one of my media insiders to help you on your journey from unknown to known. I want you to have the support you need to be the expert the media wants to interview, to be the person podcast producers want to book. And I want you to feel confident on camera. So be sure to follow or subscribe to this channel on YouTube and find on Instagram at Jamie_Maglietta. I'll see ya.